Namaste viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Pragatti Siingh, dentist, astrologer, tarot card reader, NLP life coach and Pranic Healer as well as an author. So today in our journey of learning, we'll learn about Manomaya Kosha or the mind or the mental body. In the Panch Kosha system, the mind forms the third layer. Manomaya is derived from the Sanskrit word Mano and Maya. Mano means mind and Maya means within or the Kosha system. As we have learned, it is the layers. So Maya is within. So when it comes to mind, what do we think? We think mind is thoughts. Every single day, every single moment, every single second, we are overburdened with thoughts. The moment we wake up in the morning till we sleep at night, we are just thinking. So what are these thoughts? And thoughts are always there with the body. So if we see, the thoughts drive us. In the morning when we wake up, we think, oh, I have to go to work. Then we get up and we get ready and we go to work. So the thoughts or the mind rules us. And what are thoughts? Thoughts are sensory perception of the five senses. All the five senses together make thoughts, and the thoughts make mind, and the mind controls body in which our soul is present. So if we consider thoughts can also be compared with a soap solution. When we put a soap solution, we see there are bubbles that erupt or pop one after the other. One bubble just bursts and another is created. One bursts, another is created. In the same way, thoughts come and go. One is created, then it goes. Then one is created, it goes. Or you can also compare it with cloudy day. When you look at the sky, the clouds come and go. They even change shape. In the same way, thoughts also come and go, and they also change their direction. So thoughts are mind. It is not visible. We cannot see anywhere where our thoughts, but it is a sheath around our body which is constantly covering the body. So for deeper learning, we will again look into Bhagavad Gita, which is the encyclopedia of the Vedic knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita, mind is described as a very fickle or wandering or unstable energy, because we all know our mind rushes all the time in different directions. And in Bhagavad Gita, the chariot model describes what mind is. So if we look at the chariot model, the mind is a charioteer sitting on a chariot, and our true soul or our true self or true soul is sitting in the chariot, which is the body. And the mind is controlling the five horses, which are our five senses. So if we see the model, the mind is actually controlling the five senses and taking the body forward. So wherever the mind goes, our body goes. Our body is actually nothing without the mind. So now we have learned that thoughts control the body. So now we can take one more example. If we watch a movie like for 2-3 hours, our mind is focused continuously on the movie. So we feel very happy, contented, safe and stable. Why? Because mind is not running here and there like the horses run here and there. But when we have stress or we are thinking about the future, what will happen tomorrow or what will happen day after tomorrow, what will happen to my result, then the mind starts wandering here and there, because as we have learned, the mind is unstable. It just wanders here and there. Then the problem starts. Then slowly the mind starts controlling the body. Before that, you were controlling the mind, but now when you have a lot of stress or you think a lot, then the mind starts controlling the body. In astrology, the mind is controlled by moon. Usually it is not considered as a planet, but in astrology it is a planet. As we see the features of the moon, mind also exhibits the same features. Moon is dry, moon doesn't have water, but still moon controls the tides or the water on the planet Earth. In the same way, mind is also unstable like tides. The tides go up and down, mind also goes up and down. The moon has different shapes. It waxes, it wanes. In 28 days it completes a cycle. It grows bigger, then it goes smaller. In the same way, mind also changes. And according to astrology, which we will learn later, the moon controls the mind. Even the moon or the cycle of the moon controls our mind all the time. Let's learn about the mind according to science. What is mind? Mind is related to the nervous system or the master system of the body. And the master gland of the body is brain. If you think that brain is the only important gland of the nervous system, no, that's not right, because spinal cord is equally important as brain. Brain and spinal cord together form the central nervous system, because they have special tissue made up of special cells known as neurons. Then the nervous system is divided into peripheral nervous system, which comprises of nerves which arise from brain known as the cranial nerve and spinal cord known as the spinal nerve. Now, if we see the brain, peripheral nervous system or the nerves which arise from the brain and the spinal cord can be divided further into efferent and afferent. Efferent relates to the motor nerves. Motor nerves are the nerves which bring signal from the brain to the parts of the body. For example, if I want to touch my hair, the thought will generate in my mind or my brain, and then the impulse will go to my hand, and then I will lift my hand and then touch my hair. These are known as motor impulses. And next is the afferent or the sensory impulses. The motor or the motor peripheral nervous system or the efferent nervous system is then classified into somatic and the autonomic. So somatic relates to the voluntary nervous system, as I gave the example of touching my hair. But autonomic nervous system is not in our hand. It is very important nervous system which we will study later. It is self-regulatory. We cannot control it. We cannot do it according to our will. It just happens. All the reactions in the body happens by itself. Now we have understood that all the important functions of the body are controlled by brain. Thoughts, memory, emotion, touch, vision, motor skills, hunger, temperature, everything is controlled by brain. That's why it is also known as the master gland or the smart gland. But what about thoughts? Brain is in the head, in the skull, nerves are arising from spinal cord, nerves are everywhere. But what about thoughts? We cannot touch thoughts. We don't know where are the thoughts. We can just experience it. Since we know that thoughts are not physical, we cannot touch them. But according to science, the most acceptable theory is the holistic theory of thoughts. There is simultaneous generation of impulses in all these parts of the brain together, generating thoughts one after the another. We will study the structure of head or brain or skull in detail in further chapters. Right now it is okay to understand that few parts of the brain work together to generate thoughts. If we consider composition of brain is not a solid structure like heart. Heart is a solid organ made up of strong muscles. However, brain is fluidic in nature. 60% of brain is made up of fat, and 40% of brain is made up of water, carbohydrates and proteins. From the principles of psychology, mind can be divided into conscious as well as subconscious. We all know that we have minds, we have thoughts. Through thoughts we perform actions. But actually mind is divided into two parts, conscious and subconscious, which is also known as sometimes unconscious mind. Conscious mind is the mind which is the active side of the mind. When we perform actions or in the daytime, when we are driving a car or we are studying, or we are cooking, we are cleaning, everything is controlled by the conscious mind. But at night, for 8 hours when we sleep, there is another side of mind that is known as the subconscious mind, which takes over the body. Because when we sleep, mind is still working, body is still working. We get dreams at night, we get nightmares at night. Why? Because the subconscious mind is activated already at night. It can be activated in daytime as well when we are multitasking. For example, you must have noticed sometimes you're driving back home and you got a call from your friend and you were on the phone for the whole time. And when you reach home, you realize how I came here today because I was not actively thinking of driving. I was just talking to my friend and I was just driving. So all this map or the direction towards home from office is stored in the subconscious mind. Whatever practices we do all the time are stored automatically in subconscious mind. We can also take example of women who usually cook food. They have a habit of talking to their parents, their father or mother. And after talking for 1 hour, they realize that the lunch is made. How? Because subconsciously the mind knows the recipe because they have been cooking those recipes for so long that it is saved inside the mind as it is. And they don't have to make any extra effort to do it. So multitasking, dreams, everything gives the fact that we have subconscious mind as well. If you are interested in more spiritual and scientific knowledge, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.